Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, I am XFL Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the XFL.
Joined, as always, by the man, the myth, the legend. It is Uncle Rico.
Whoa. So, dude, when you showed that clip about Vince McMahon, all I'm thinking about is that time you came on the air and you said what a great guy he was and everything he did, and then the next day,
Literally the next day, all those text messages came out.
All those things came out, and we saw what a slubby piece of shit he actually is.
Well, I mean, anyone who pays attention to wrestling and the WWE and WWF, I also just noticed I'm wearing my shirt inside out, but I don't care.
Yeah.
If you've ever followed Vince for like the many years he's been a part of the zeitgeist, he's always been a scumbag. He's always let it known he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
I can never fully hate the man for he invented the XFL. I'm stuck, Eric. I'm stuck.
You're between a rock and a hard place, buddy.
Literally. Before we get into it, which is this episode is the UFL hot take episode. Next week we will have picks. Hopefully, some of these candy ass sports books will get off of their lazy, good for nothing asses and put actual game lines out there.
I don't think we get game lines more until the day before or morning of.
I'm hoping Wednesday. I'm hoping
JLo responds to the DM I sent her too. So
we can both hope. That's what we can do. Spring Fever is brought to you, of course, by Royal Retros, your one-stop shop for the best merch on the planet. You can get anything from Seattle Supersonics to the Las Vegas Extreme. They have it all for your teams of yesteryear, long forgotten. You Philadelphia Stars fans, you're upset that your team's no longer in the UFL? Guess what? You can go get some Stars merch over at Royal Retros. And when you do, make sure you use promo code SPRINGFEVER for 10% off at checkout. Helps us, helps them. So, Eric, this is the hot take episode.
Yes.
We're going to sprinkle some hot takes on you guys. And for those of you in the chat or those of you commenting, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or at any platform or Twitch or anything, let us know your hot takes too. I want to know everyone's hot takes.
Okay.
Eric, why don't you start us off with your first hot take?
My first hot take, low scoring week one. Every single first half and game under is going to hit.
I'll give that a lukewarm. Because I think so far, I believe I did the tracking when we were going into last year. AAF happened that way. XFL year 2020 happened that way. USFL also happened. They always seem to like price these lines higher than anticipated. I wonder if the sports books have finally caught up and I'll price these appropriately. The only other different factor going into that is a lot of these teams aren't brand new teams. These guys have been playing together for a little bit. Teams like the Stallions, they're going on year 3. Some of those guys on the same roster.
That's true.
Now you have the cohesion with it, but also short training camp, and we're changing the rules a little bit. So both like old teams are playing with some different rules.
Yeah.
I also do think the XFL's PAT works good for unders or overs because if they're not getting the extra points, since they can't kick it, they got to go for the play. They got to either go for 1, 2, or 3. They have to do the play. If they're not hitting that, unders are great.
Yeah, the under, yeah.
But if you got a team like, I don't know, I think like what the Brahmas are going to try and do this year, I suspect they're going to be going for 2 and 3 a lot. And if they hit them, worse.
Yeah.
My first hot take, Eric. Luis Perez will finish on a team that is different than the Arlington Renegades.
That happens every year, though. He plays this thing, though.
Hey, it didn't happen with the USFL. It did not happen in the XFL in 2020. It only happened in 2023.
Okay. All right.
But I believe he will finish on a different team than the Arlington Renegades. I think by week 3 or 4, they might go with a different quarterback.
All right. I could see it.
Shout out T1BG, my man. Love you.
My next hot take, week 1 of the UFL will have more people watching than week 1 of the USFL and XFL combined from last year.
Easter weekend.
Yep.
People will be home. I like the fact that they're playing on a holiday. It kind of it boosts the season. I like it. Hot take for me that's not on my list. I'm actually skipping Easter with the family to watch UFL.
Jesus.
I am 100% skipping Easter with the family. I'm going to be live streaming my watch along for the UFL. It's going to be a great day.
Hypothetically, what day Nebraska plays on Friday? So that means if they can get past Texas A&M, they play Sunday.
I already told you, Eric. I'm having both things on.
Yep.
If Nebraska's playing Houston in the round of 32, I will be, of course, having that game on as well as the UFL. Okay. I can't quit. They're my two loves.
Yeah.
I can't quit them. My hot take number 2, the Birmingham Stallions will not make the playoffs.
Son of a bitch, dude.
Oh, did you have that? Oh, my God.
That was my number 5. God
oh, my God. Oh, my God. We did not coordinate this.
All right. So you know what? Now I got to think of someone else.
No. Explain your reasoning, Eric.
Smith is hurt. You know, they're going to have a different quarterback going on. Different
Matt Corral.
Role.
Matt Corral, perhaps.
Matt Corral.
Adrian Martinez, maybe.
Adrian Martinez. Not the same team. No Bo Scarborough. Running back game could be a little weaker. Getting different competition. It's just a different league. And plus, it's hard to sustain, no matter what league it is, dominance for that long. What the Blue Bombers did in the CFL is against the norm. I think that the Stallions are going to struggle out from the get-go without having Smith, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
I think that's a hot take from both of us. I think, like you said, I still think their defense could be elite. I do think their offense takes a noticeable step back this year. It's also a combination of that, but I also think so. It's not just that they're not in the USFL solely. They don't just have the southern part of the USFL where they have a team like the Gamblers who are scrubs, or they have a guy like Todd Haley coaching on a team in their division who's one of the worst human beings and coaches on the planet. It's a combination of me being a little bit lower on the Stallions, but also I really like my pick for the USFL division teams making the playoffs, the Michigan Panthers and the Memphis Showboats.
Okay.
That's who I have making the playoffs on the USFL side. I think the Stallions lose it by just a hair. What's your third one, Eric?
My third one. There's going to be an unforeseen amount of injuries at the quarterback position. And because of that, my boy, Erik King, who is SMU's quarterback coach right now, is going to get a call. And he is going to be in the starting lineup for a team on week 5.
I almost put in halfway through the season, a quarterback not in the league will get a call. They had it. The XFL had it last year. Kurt Benkert for the Brahmas came in because they had so many injuries, if you remember. And then he got hurt.
I mean, I could see it happen. You know, we saw the increase of injuries. It could be someone. I just did King because he's my favorite quarterback. Who's in
the XFL alone, what was it? AJ McCarron was the only quarterback to start every game.
Yep.
Jon Snow wants the UFL offensive line power rankings. I'll tell you this: number 1, I'm going to say DC.
I agree with that.
Off the jump. My third hot take. I like that one, Eric. I like that one a lot. My third hot take: a coach will be fired mid-season. Not necessarily a head coach, but like either offensive or defensive or head coach will be fired mid-season.
Yeah.
The last time it happened, Eric, 2020 XFL, because I'm rewatching the 2020 XFL season. Winston Moss, the head coach of the LA Wildcats.
Mhm.
This is a move I feel like you would respect. So they get kind of blown out week 1. What does Winston Moss, the head coach, do? Fires his defensive coordinator the next week. And then he takes over.
I love that move.
Oh, I want him back. I want him back. He was one of my favorite coaches. I want Winston Moss back so bad. Yep.
What is he doing right now?
He's like retired or something. When I look on Wikipedia, it says his last career was the head coach of the LA Wildcats.
So he's just fishing?
Like he was a co-DC at Green Bay. You figure he'd get some job, right?
You'd like to think.
Like he's not an unsuccessful guy. But yeah, I got nothing. I've been trying to dig him up.
That's interesting.
What's your number 4, Eric?
The Brahmas go 9-1 and lose the first round in the playoffs. Convincing.
They make the playoffs.
They make the playoffs. They're the top seed, but they lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay. I like that. I wouldn't mind that. I might put a future on the Brahmas though, so maybe I hate it a little bit. My number 4, end of the season expansion announcement. They're going to expand they're going to add 2 teams. They're going to go to 10. I don't know which 2. If I want to sprinkle some more spice on this hot take, I'm going to say somewhere in the Ohio area, whether it's Cleveland or they go back to Canton. And then I'm going to say they start moving out west. I'm going to say Salt Lake.
Okay.
Salt Lake City. That's where they expand to.
Salt Lake City, really, just out of nowhere.
Well, the AAF did it, and they were one of the more – they had decent crowd size for the Salt Lake City Stallions back in the AAF days in 2019. It's an untapped market. I think it's an interesting city to put it in.
I like it.
That or if they did Phoenix, or if they went like Jon Snow says,
Tempe.
No, they would go back to Seattle.
Okay, I like that. I just feel it's so far out there that
I feel like that's why I think like a Salt Lake or maybe even a Phoenix, it's a little bit easier to get to. Still kind of southern. Seattle would just be, especially if they're the only like team out west. It's just so far away from everybody.
Yeah. My next one is that this, and I don't really know how to word this, that this meets the expectation that the NFL has for it, and it becomes a quote-unquote true farm system for the NFL. And we see okay, there's 8 teams right now. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
So each NFL team, each one of those would have 4 NFL teams.
So you just kind of say like, oh, the practice squad guys.
The practice squad guys for the Lions, Colts, Texans, and Rams all are on the Brahmas.
Like all have the ability to be on the Brahmas?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like it's more of like I don't want to like a tree type system. Like, okay, this team filters into this team. This team filters into this team.
So what do you do about the guys who still like are in that space where you can't really make an NFL roster, but you're still good enough to play in a league like this and be entertaining / competitive?
I mean, they get a spot if they're good enough. You know what I mean? But I just feel that the product is so good that NFL gets behind more, develops more.
I would like that. You know, I'm always going to be anti-pure feeder league, but if the NFL, I mean, the best way for it to survive is for the NFL to kind of like start backing it and get behind it.
And I think that the ratings are good. NFL is all about making money. With the Rock, see it behind it, ESPN, everything. I think it blooms, becomes a true theater system. And how it works. For this to truly work, the NFL needs to give it its stamp of approval, and that's going to be the stamp of approval.
Hot take. Regulation. Yes.
What?
My I don't know.
That went over my head.
My fifth and final hot take, Eric, also has to do with something you mentioned, which is ratings. I'm going to say the UFL ratings actually beat out both the NBA and NHL playoff rankings. Yeah. What were the ratings last year for the NBA? And let me see what the NBA playoff TV ratings 2023. Take a look. Oh, okay. It's tough. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it somehow. Let's see. Those are the finals. The 2023, let's see, Sports Media Watch. Averaged a 2.7. Okay, so the 2023 NBA playoffs averaged 5.12 million viewers.
Okay.
After bottoming out at a 1.8 and 3.08 million in the fan bubble. Okay, yep, we're going to do it. We're going to beat it. Oh, Jon Snow is hot take regulation, just like soccer, where teams can be regulated or promoted. That's how the X League does it. That's how they do it in Japan.
I like that. Get a little up and down. I like that.
It would be really funny if they did it. You'd have to have like another feeder league under the UFL somehow that had the same rules.
I have a fun one. I have a fun hot take.
Lay it on me.
May 26th, Jim takes a little trip to Memphis, Tennessee. While going to said Memphis, Tennessee, at the DC Defenders game, he runs into Danny Garcia.
Ooh.
Thus, Jim is able to sweet talk Miss Garcia, and he becomes the head of the social media department for the UFL.
That's a hot take I can get behind, Eric. So I am already booking my tickets to St. Louis for the championship weekend.
Okay, the championship weekend.
Yeah.
You buddy up with Miss Garcia.
Get me in on the off season.
Brings in Jimbo. Jimbo's doing it.
Yeah, let me do it. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't. Other hot takes. I mean, the futures really haven't changed much. Stallion's still sitting at 3-1. Battlehawks plus 350. Defenders 380. Renegades have moved up to 475. Roughnecks at 650. The Renegades have moved. Showboats at 8-1. I still kind of like that. Panthers at 13-1 and Brahmas at 14-1.
There's going to be a team that no one expects does well, and there's going to be a betting value like there was with Arlington in the USFL the XFL last year. That was just kind of came out of the blue and made a run.
It's a great league to live bet. You could, since there's so few games and they're both split up by divisions, if a team isn't playing like a lot of division games to start out with, you could theoretically start 0-3 and still make the playoffs and have a nice run.
Mm-hmm. Also, live betting is going to be interesting. Live betting, I feel, is going to be really interesting in that league, just because
I think so.
The 2-point stuff and everything. We've seen it before. During your streams, we were very lucky that we were able to do some live stuff and everything.
Also, final note of anything, shout out the IFL, the Indoor Football League, who started their season last weekend. The Arizona Rattlers defeated the Northern Arizona Wranglers 51-40, and the Massachusetts Pirates defeated the Green Bay Blizzard 44-40. We got games this weekend, too, for the IFL. I think FanDuel is the only place that I'm going to see if you can bet on them.
FanDuel.
I gotta see, because like DraftKings is the only one that we find that has these UFL futures.
Yeah.
I need to find where to bet on the IFL. No, FanDuel also has the UFL futures. Fucking Stallions over at FanDuel, Eric. 260. 260.
Ooh.
Just worse odds in general for everybody. Battlehawks at 6-1 is not bad.
I like it.
Battlehawks at 6-1, not bad. Renegades 7-1. Let me see where let's see where I can bet the IFL. Where can I bet this? Where to bet indoor football league? Ooh, DraftKings. You got something for me, DraftKings?
A little DK.
Nope. Nothing right now. Oddspedia. Anything for me, boys? Nothing. I hate you guys. I hate everybody. Yeah. I got nothing. If I can find where to bet IFL, I will update you people. This is disgusting, though. It says that DraftKings offers them, but guess what? I don't see. Maybe you have to be in certain states for it to offer.
No, it would offer them. They're trying to get your money. They're trying to get that currency. Trying to get that cheddar.
Anyway, IFL mid-season, like we're already starting the season. Shout out to the Indoor Football League. The Arena Football League is also going to be starting up in the next couple of weeks. Be on the lookout for that. A lot of football coming at you. A lot of basketball. A lot of gambling opportunities for you people. And we'll be here to cover all of it. Check me and Erik out Saturday morning on Gym Rats. It's a wonderful show where we talk college basketball. Check us out next week on Spring Fever. Also, I'm going to be dropping a couple videos previewing week 1 of UFL. Now, Erik, we get to preview week 1 next week. Actual matchups.
That is going to be absolutely crazy that we are here. It is here.
Ugh, that makes me so happy. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time on some Spring Fever.